Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath. In front of you are 3 cards. Don't think. Don't calculate. The one that pulls you is already connected to your money flow. Write in the comments which card you chose, card 1, card 2, or card 3. At the end of the video, you'll discover what your choice really means and what's coming next for your finances. There are moments in life that don't announce themselves loudly. They don't arrive with permission. They don't wait until you're ready. They open and then they close. Right now, you are standing inside one of those moments. Most people will scroll past this, dismiss it as coincidence, or tell themselves, "I'll come back later." Later never comes. Because what you're about to hear is not motivation. It's not hope. And it's definitely not comfort. It's a warning wrapped inside an opportunity. There is a narrow window where time, money, and awareness briefly align. When it passes, nothing dramatic happens on the surface. Life continues. Bills still arrive. Days still repeat. But something subtle is lost. The momentum that could have changed everything. This is a story about time that was taken, chances that were delayed, and the moment when the universe quietly begins to reverse what was lost. Not for everyone, not automatically, only for those who recognize the signal before it disappears. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The moment time slipped away. No one ever tells you the exact moment when your time starts being stolen. It doesn't feel violent. It doesn't feel dramatic. In fact, it often feels normal. You wake up. You repeat yesterday. You tell yourself that progress takes time, that patience is a virtue, that someday things will shift. And without realizing it, years pass not because you failed, but because you waited. This is how time is taken from most people. Not through force, through delay. The universe doesn't punish immediately. It observes. It watches how long you hesitate when intuition speaks, how often you ignore the quiet nudge to move, to choose, to act differently. Every hesitation creates a small fracture. One fracture becomes a pattern, and patterns, when repeated long enough, harden into reality. At first, the cost is invisible. You lose enthusiasm before you lose money. You lose clarity before you lose direction. You lose momentum long before you lose hope. And that's why most people never notice what's happening. They think they're stuck. They think they're unlucky. They think they missed their chance. But that's not the truth. The truth is harsher and more precise. Your time wasn't wasted. It was redirected. Every time you chose comfort over alignment, the universe rerouted your energy. Every time you said later, it marked a delay. Every time fear disguised itself as logic, the clock moved forward without you. This is not punishment. It's mechanics. Time responds to decision, not desire. And here's the twist no one expects. The universe never permanently takes what belongs to you. It holds it, like a locked vault. The years you think are gone aren't erased. They're compressed, stored, waiting for a specific condition to be met. That condition isn't effort. It isn't struggle, and it isn't manifestation rituals. It's recognition. The moment you recognize that time didn't disappear but paused, you step into a different timeline, a dangerous one, because from that moment on, you can no longer claim ignorance. And this is where most people fail again. They feel the urgency, but don't understand it. They sense the pressure, but misinterpret it as anxiety. They feel something closing, but tell themselves it's stress. In reality, what they're feeling is a window narrowing. There are moments when the universe leans closer, when opportunities don't arrive as gifts, but as tests. Not, can you receive, but, will you act before it's too late? This is why urgency feels uncomfortable. It threatens the illusion that there will always be another chance. But there isn't. There are cycles, and cycles end. When one ends, another begins. But it doesn't begin where you left off. It begins where you deserve based on your response. That's the rule no one teaches. The clock doesn't reset. It recalibrates. Some people feel this as exhaustion, others as frustration. Some feel it as a sudden fear of falling behind for no clear reason. That fear isn't irrational. It's accurate. It's the awareness that time is no longer neutral. And here's the final hook of this chapter. When the universe prepares to return what was lost, it does not announce restoration. It announces urgency. Because restored time moves faster than normal time. Miss the moment it unlocks, and the vault closes again, this time heavier, tighter, and harder to reopen. The question is no longer whether your lost years can come back. The question is whether you'll recognize the exact moment they start returning, or whether you'll hesitate one more time. When the window opens, the most dangerous assumption people make about opportunity is that it arrives loudly. They expect signs to scream. They expect clarity to feel calm. They expect alignment to feel safe. But when the window actually opens, it feels nothing like that. It feels urgent. It feels destabilizing. It feels like something is about to be lost forever. This is why so many people miss it even when it's right in front of them. When the universe decides to unlock what was held back, time, momentum, money, direction, it does not do so gently. It releases pressure, and pressure creates discomfort. Suddenly, everything speeds up. Thoughts become sharper. Old problems resurface at once. Decisions you avoided for years demand answers now. People mistake this for chaos. They think, why is everything getting harder all at once? They think, this must mean I'm off track. But the opposite is true. This compression is the sign. When the vault begins to open, everything that was delayed tries to re-enter your life simultaneously. Opportunities don't arrive one by one. They stack. Awareness intensifies. Time stops feeling abundant and starts feeling expensive. This is when the internal resistance begins. Your mind searches for excuses. I need more information. I'll wait until things calm down. Now isn't the right moment. That voice is not logic. It's the echo of the old timeline trying to survive. Because once the window opens, the old rhythm becomes unsustainable. You can't go back to moving slowly. You can't stay neutral. You can't pretend you didn't notice. The universe has already adjusted its pace, and here's the twist most people never hear. The window doesn't open for long because it's not meant to convince you. It's meant to reveal you. In this phase, money doesn't appear as cash. It appears as access. Conversations shift. Information finds you. Certain ideas suddenly feel obvious, almost embarrassing that you didn't see them before. That's restored time beginning to move, but it comes with a condition. Restored time only responds to decisive action, not effort, not belief, not visualization. Action. This is why some people experience sudden breakthroughs while others experience sudden collapse during the same window. Those who act feel momentum return almost violently. Those who hesitate feel pressure turn into loss. And this loss feels personal. Things slip away faster than before. Opportunities vanish mid-thought. People stop responding. Motivation drains without explanation. They say, I don't know what's wrong with me. What's wrong is timing. They entered the window, but didn't move. The universe does not chase hesitation. It only mirrors it. This is where money energy becomes unforgiving. Financial flow is the most sensitive to timing because it operates on circulation. When circulation pauses, stagnation forms instantly. That's why during this phase, some people experience unexpected expenses. Others feel sudden urgency around income. Some feel a sharp fear of falling behind. This isn't punishment. It's feedback. The window is saying, move now or step aside. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The universe does not keep windows open for emotional readiness. It opens them for energetic readiness. If your awareness is sharp enough to feel the urgency, you are ready enough to act. Waiting is a choice, and during this phase, waiting is interpreted as refusal. The most shocking part? The universe doesn't get angry when you refuse. It simply reallocates. What you didn't claim continues its movement, just not toward you. And this is why restored time can feel cruel. Because it doesn't come back gently. It comes back demanding respect. People who succeed during this phase aren't more spiritual. They aren't more positive. They're simply willing to move while others freeze. They understand one brutal rule. When the window opens, hesitation costs more than failure. Because failure still moves energy. Hesitation traps it. And once the window begins to close, it doesn't slam shut. It narrows. Slowly. Quietly. Invisibly. By the time most people realize it's gone, it already is. The terrifying part isn't that the universe stops offering chances. It's that the next chance won't look like this one. When time decides without you. The most dangerous part of the window is not when it opens. It's when it starts closing, and you don't notice. There is no alarm for this phase, no sign in the sky, no moment where reality announces, this was your last chance. The universe does not dramatize endings. It finalizes them. At first, everything looks normal. Your days continue, conversations still happen, money still comes and goes. On the surface, nothing seems different. But underneath, the current has shifted direction. What once moved toward you now moves past you. This is how time decides without you, not by erasing opportunity, but by removing your position within it. People often describe this phase as numbness. Motivation fades. The urgency that once burned suddenly feels distant. That's not relief. That's disconnection. When the window closes, the emotional intensity disappears because the decision has already been made. And this is where the final twist appears. The universe doesn't judge your worth. It measures your response speed. Timing is the only language time understands. If you didn't move when awareness peaked, time assumes you don't want what was offered, not consciously, but energetically. And energy, once redirected, does not argue. This is why some people feel like life suddenly becomes heavier. Not worse, just heavier. Progress requires more effort. Money feels harder to hold on to. Every step forward seems to demand twice the energy it used to. They say things like, "Why does everything feel harder now? I was doing better before. It feels like I missed something." They're right, they did. But not because they were incapable, because they hesitated at the exact moment action mattered most. Time does not punish. It reassigns. Here's the part no one wants to hear. Once the window closes, the universe stops sending pressure signals. The anxiety disappears. The sense of urgency fades. That calm isn't peace, it's distance. You're no longer inside the moment of acceleration. That's why waiting feels safer. It numbs the tension. But safety during a closing window is illusion. It's simply the absence of access. The most sobering truth is this. Some timelines are only available once, not forever, not repeatedly. Once. They exist for a narrow slice of awareness. When that awareness passes, the timeline remains, but without you in it. Yet, this is not the end, because there is a second decision hidden inside this phase. Even after the window closes, there is a final alignment point, a moment when you realize, fully, that time has already moved on. This realization is painful, but pain sharpens clarity faster than comfort ever could. When someone reaches this point, one of two things happens. Most people collapse into regret. They replay the moment endlessly. They blame circumstances. They turn inward and slow down even more. For them, time continues, but only linearly. But a few people do something different. They stop negotiating. They stop hoping for the window to reopen. They accept the loss completely. And this acceptance triggers a paradox. When you fully accept that time decided without you, resistance dissolves. And when resistance dissolves, energy becomes available again. Not the same energy, not the same window, but a new axis. This is the hidden mercy of time. You cannot force a closed window open, but you can reposition yourself for the next one. Those who learn this don't chase urgency anymore. They prepare for it. They sharpen awareness. They act faster. They stop mistaking hesitation for wisdom. They understand that abundance is not about luck or belief. It's about alignment with movement. Time rewards movement. That is the final law. The people who eventually experience restoration, the return of lost years, money, momentum, are not the ones who regret the past the longest. They are the ones who recognize the pattern and refuse to repeat it. Because once you've felt time decide without you, you never delay the same way again. And when the next window opens, because it always does, you won't need pressure to move. You'll already be in motion. That is how timelines change, not through hope, through speed. The card 1. The opening flow. This card speaks of movement. Money that felt stuck begins to circulate again. Unexpected opportunities, small wins that grow into something bigger, and a sense of relief replace pressure. This is the sign that your financial energy is waking up. Not all at once, but steadily, naturally, and in your favor. Card 2. The golden alignment. This card represents alignment and timing. Your actions, decisions, and inner state are finally syncing with abundance. What you've been preparing for, often without realizing it, starts to respond. Money comes not through struggle, but through being in the right place at the right time. Things begin to work with you, not against you. Card 3. The overflow. This card carries the energy of expansion, a breakthrough, an upgrade, or a shift that changes how you relate to money. You stop surviving and start receiving. This is about confidence, worth, and allowing more than you thought was possible. Abundance doesn't knock quietly here. It arrives boldly.